Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I want to show you how you can build your Opex budget and Opex budget that is departmentalized. So if you look here, what you have is different departments. In this video, I show you how to develop this entire template and why we have each of these things here, what they would do, what you can use them for, and the structure in which you can update across sheets. So if you want to update things across sheets, well, in this video, I help you to see how to do just that. And I help you to see how you populate your budget templates. So the templates are built in such a way that you can just easily make a copy of it, send it to the department. They can put in the necessary inputs they want to put in, send it back to you. You can plug it into your workbook and everything would flow fine. Also, what I did was that I also show you how you can have an input sheet to be able to put in all of those general assumptions that flows throughout the entire workbook. I show you how to put in your timing here. And another thing I did was how you can bring in the totals from all of your sheets, irrespective of the numbers they are. I show you how to bring them into one sheet as a summary of those sheets. So all your departments could all come in, and they come in such a way that they match with your charge accounts, your cost center also there. So it makes it easy for you to do variance analysis, to do comparison with actuals that come from your trial balance. So that is one thing that I show you how to do in this video. And also I help you to see how having it in these formats can help you to do some deep dives into analysis of any sort. For example, if you want to see all rows that have values, you can easily filter and see all the rows that have values. So this can be your total budget. This can be your total budget for a 12 months period. And you can always have it handy, pick it, use it wherever you want to use it if you have it in this format. So let's go over and build this that you are just seeing. So the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to create an input sheet. So I'm going to call this an input sheet. Inputs, we're going to have it as input. And if you look through, the first thing we should be doing in our input sheet is to bring in the timing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave about 4 columns. We're going to have these 4 columns. For now, I'll just do them this way, 4 columns like this. And then after that 4 columns, I'm just going to start to enter what I would call a start date. So what we do here is to have a start date, and we're just going to assume that it is January 21st. Sorry, we're going to assume that it is 1st of January 2024 out there. So for this one, we're going to just have it in blue, shaded blue, indicating that it is an input. So this can change anytime. And so we're going to have the end date. We're going to use the EO month function to derive that one. And here is it. Okay, I'm missing something. I need to tell it that it should take for the current month. So I'm using 0 because 0 is for the current month. So I don't want you to go 1 month further. So we format it as date and just take out this. So that's a formula cell. So we're going to just have this +1. So that becomes the start of the new month, and then this one. So we just need to have this for 12 months running. How many months do we have here? 15 months. So we're going to take out 3 of them. So we're assuming that this is an annual budget, and we are creating an annual budget from the scratch. So this would always be our reference point when it comes to the timing. And in order to make it easy for the eyes to see, we would just format them this way. Okay, so it looks nicer and it looks fun. So what we have here is the start date, and then we have the end date. Okay, um, so we could have an additional column here, and this column would just be have 2 columns here. Come on, okay, insert. So we have 2 other columns here. We'll just have this to be units, and we would have this to be inputs. So it's more like a financial model, but this time around it is for budgets. You get it, this is for budget. So that's what we have here. Okay. And let's just have this one above here so that we could have this to be months. You get it. And sometimes we might just wish to make this a little different so that they would rhyme like this. Okay, and I'm just going to make this way. All right, so we can do other designs and other things about it later, but for now let's just have this one. If there are any things we would add, we would know how to bring them in. So for this one, we can quickly say that this is timing. This is everything about timing. Okay, and I'm just going to do something. I'm going to select from this column down to the end, and I'm just going to hide it. I'm going to do that and just hide it. Okay, and then why I do that is that it helps me, like if I want to format anything down to the last column, I can easily use this method to do it. Okay, so let's get a line that can help us to differentiate whatever we're doing. So fine, so that is for timing. So if we come here, you'll see that we have other things that we need to include because we likely might be using them. So again, you can start doing that. Usually that pertains to macroeconomic. So I'm just going to just come here, take this, replicate it here. And that being done, I'm just coming to do some macro economics. So these are actually macroeconomics inputs that we want to bring in here. For example, we might have the FX rates or FX rate. We could have we could have wages, but I'm not going to put wages there now. We're going to put it in each of the sheets. So the only thing that we can do in that case is that we can have the CPI, which is close to inflation rates. And so these are going to be percentages. So I'm just going to have this here to indicate that they are percentages. So whatever it is, we would have them in here and put those percentage in there. So actually for the FX rate, it's going to be a currency. It's going to be some currency. Okay, it's going to be some currency rather than a percentage. So maybe we exchange for about 550 or something like that. We could always have it here. Whatever it is, we can always have it here and use it for our exchange rate. Now, our exchange rates might change as the months go by. So, but that's just left for us to indicate what it could be and then have it here. So this is the demonstration I expect. So what I'm trying to say is that we could have exchange rates, or we could forecast exchange rates that they're going to likely change to they're going to likely change in the future, and something like that. So that's what I'm trying to state. So let's leave it like this for now because it suits the purpose. It serves what we want to do. Okay. So if we go back, we see that what we need here is the departmental sheets. Okay. So let's go to see how we build this departmental sheet. All right. So I'm back to the input sheet. This is the input sheet. So we're going to leave the input sheet now and then create the departmental sheet. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to create a copy of this. I don't need to redo most of what we have done. And I'm just going to say move to the end. And we're just going to OK. So we have another copy here. So for this other copy, I actually want to start building the input sheets for the department. So usually you will have departments, and I'm just going to assume that this is an admin department, and I'm just going to do a dash here and put 001. So whatever it is, it's always advisable for you to have your department code. And where would you get your department code? Your department code can come from your chart of account, where you have the cost center. So if you have a cost center code, your cost center code should be part of what is here. And I will tell you why it should be there. So let's see how we create this and how it happens. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to take this out now. And what we are going to do is this stays. The only difference is that we're going to connect this to this sheet here. So it's not going to have that because the formula that is in there. So we're just going to have this like this. So it's we're going to have this here. Yes, I'm going to have this here and then just like this going forward. All right. So there are some things that you might need as inputs when you are calculating, and you can bring them in here now. For example, we might be interested in finding what is the number of days in the month. So what is going to happen here is that I'm going to create it right here. And so what I would do is to use day and here. So I'm going to refer to the last date, the end date, because that would have the serial number of the day. So January is 31 days, and we can have this as days. The reason is that there might be some calculation um, um, day serial. There might be some calculation where we need to use the number of days. So we'll be able to pick it from any one sheet and then use it for such calculations. Okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is that we are going to bring in our charts of account. Very important in this stage. So what I'm going to do is just move up, and like you can see here, we'll need our charts of accounts that summarizes your trial balance. So if I go down, I have something we could use here. I'm just going to come here and pick it up here, and we'll go into this sheet. And what I'm going to do is just I will just paste the values here. Okay. Now, what is happening here? So what I'm trying to do is to say that for the admin department, they could have any of these costs. They could have any of these costs, and I want to capture it. Where we're going to is a situation where this sheet becomes the budget sheet for the admin department, and you're going to have it for each of those departments going in the establishment. Okay, so we'll have this here, and we just leave some lines here. If we don't need them, we'll take them out. So for now, we will have these here. Everything that is going to be here is going to be some kind of currencies. So depending on whatever currency it is you're using, you can always have those currencies in here. It's going to be some kind of currency. So that takes this down. Okay. And let's just put this, make it, okay. All right. All right, so the next thing that we'll be doing is to ensure that each page has got the sheet name attached to it. This is very important because you might want to identify what sheet a particular number comes from when we're doing the summary. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a function called cell. So the cell function helps us to get things like the address, the column identity, but what we're actually going to use is the file. We're going to use the file name here. And so I'm just going to pick that. And I'm just going to reference just any cell, preferably A1 in this on this sheet. And then I'm just going to close it. So what it actually gave us, let me take it down here so that you see what it actually does. So what it actually does is that it gives us the source of the document, like where it is saved, and the name of the file. And but what I really want is what is at the end of it, and that is the sheet's name. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just I'm going to use a function to pull out that sheet's name. So to do that, I'm going to use the text after, because what I just want to do, I want to get the text after, so let me show you that. So what I need to do is I need to take the text after this, closing bracket, this square bracket that closes here. So I have to take it out from there. So that's why I'm wrapping it up with the text after function, and then I'm going to feed it with what text is going to check, as if it's a delimiter, what it's going to check for. So it's going to be this, and it's going to be this, and I'll just close the bracket. So what you see is actually the sheet's name coming up there. So I'm just going to take this out from here, bring it here. I want it to be with all of this. I'm going to copy it, come down here, select all of this, and paste it there. So that is what it looks like now. And so what this means is that if we can get the table of values, if we can get everything here, we would have gotten the budget for the admin department. And when we have it in a particular sheet, we'll be able to identify which department has got this amount of money or cost or something like that. Okay, so that's for this, and then it completes it. Now, other things that you might want to do, and that depends on how you number them, is for example, here you will see that this is sales, and this pertains to anything that is sales, and then this is the cost of sales. So you might have many lines that are cost of sales, and you can be able to identify them using this code or whatever code that you are using. So it is very important that we have all of that, because when you build summaries later, these codes will help you to classify them as sales, as cost of sales, or as Opex, or whatever it is that you want to classify them. Now, at this point, I want to take you through something else that requires you to, as if it were, update these sheets. So what we want to learn now is how to update sheets across sheets. You get it? So you have more than one sheet, but you want to do one or two things about it. That's what we want to do now. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to make a copy of this. Um, I'm just going to make a copy of this now and put it at the end, and this one here now. Okay, so let's see. So you can see what has happened immediately, that when we were in the admin sheet, you can see the code that it had in there. You see, the moment I created another sheet, you can see the sheet name is different. That's the second one here. You can see that the sheet automatically, this is numbered. You see, so as you create new sheets, it's going to number them accordingly and so on. So, but what I want to do is that I want to just assume that this sheet is going to be 2, and we're going to have another name for it here. Let's call it MARO. For marketing, or let me just put it in full marketing. Okay, so and I hit my enter button, so you can see that it has adjusted for all of that. So you can create new sheets and then it would adjust automatically. Now that's not what I'm trying to just get at here. That's just one of it anyway. So just imagine that you have to update, you have to do something on this sheet and do something on this sheet too. If it's going to be something that will be in all of the sheets, you can select all of the sheets that you want to effect on, and selecting the first one, I hold down my shift key, select the second one, and I could do something like this. I could just take out these two, delete them like this, and then leave them. So why this happened was likely because of what is here. So I'm going to just select this all down and just do this. So you see it has adjusted, and then I'm going to click a different cell, sorry, a different sheet, in order to stop the selection of this. So see what has happened. So you see we now have just one row here. If we go to the marketing, it's just one row too, and then that error that came up here, that error is no more. You can see it, that error is no more. So it's you could do all of that through sheets, and we're going to do it some other things that would require us to exploit what we just did now. So I'm going to just select this and this, hold down my shift key, select this one. Possibly we make this center, we make it center, and that's for that one. Okay, and I'm going to just I'm going to take this timing, just copy it, and I'm going to bring it down here. Why am I bringing it down? Because I want to put some general inputs. So I want to make some general inputs here, and I will tell you why I'm putting those general inputs. One reason is because in all of the sheets, I want it to be there. For example, I want to be able to capture something like, I want to be able to capture something like the FX rate. I want to be able to capture the FX rate, and I want to be able to capture the CPI if you have any of those things. So what it simply means is that having them here, like we mentioned, currency, so it's going to be currency there, and for CPI it's going to be a percentage. It's going to be a percentage there, percentage. Okay, so that's going to be, so I can now come here, you get it, come here, and then I build a link to my input sheet. So here is it. So this was for my FX rate, and that comes in here. And then this other one, I can easily run this down here. Nothing is there for now, but it's going to be a percentage that will be there, and then I run this here too. Okay, take note that I am editing across sheets from what is here. I'm editing across sheets. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to give this a section, and this is going to just be the macroeconomics. So I'm going to make that bold, and I'm just going to use a kind of line to, those are aesthetics. You could just do anything you want with them. I'm going to just use a disjointed line and just do this. All right, so here is it. So that just shows that that is a section for that particular one. So we can use this to do other things. Now, why am I putting this? Because it's generic to all of them. You're likely going to use them to make calculations in each of those sheets. The idea is that everything that you want fixed across sheets should come first, and other things that might change because you're working in a different department, or it's a different department budget, can stay below. So you will see how that develops. Another thing that you want to keep fixed is another thing you want to keep fixed is staffing. Now, we would need that here, and it will be very, very important for us in putting together a summary of the entire budget. Here, I'm going to just take this out. This is going to be staffing. And under staffing, what I just want to do, I want to do the opening head count. The opening head count. The entry and entrance, let's just call that, and then exits. So you're going to have people who come in, you're going to have people who leave, or you might in your budget you want to take account of people who come in and people who leave, and then you have the closing head count. So you have the closing head count. This also, you just want to put it there and map it so that whoever is using it will know exactly what to do. So the opening head count here, I'm going to link it to just the closing here. Yes, that's an input. So what that means, and I will show you how it works. So what that means is that if at the beginning of the year you had maybe 65 individuals in the entire, or in this department, in this marketing department, it's going to come out as the opening count, the opening head count here. Okay, so going forward, you're going to have likely additions. So for these additions, I'm just going to map it with, I'm going to just use this to color code it so that departments can easily put in what they want, and that counts and goes on. Then for this other cell, we're going to just sum. We're going to sum whatever is the opening, whatever are the entrance, new entrance, and then those that are exits, and that comes together to give us this. You get it? So I'm just going to bold it, and we could just do this to indicate that that is the total. So all right, so it goes like this. So now I can copy this down and this down. So assuming nobody comes into this department for the year, this is going to be the head count. It's going to be the head count, okay? And for exits, we're just going to do the same thing. We'll color code it so that anybody can enter it. So if we're going to have an exit here, -1, you can see that drops from 65 to 64 persons in there. And if we're looking to replace the person here, sorry, if we're looking to replace the person, we could just do this. So this will count here and this can stay. So this can stay as number of persons that are in there. The interesting thing is that while you have it here in this general inputs, you can also refer to these general inputs to make calculations. For example, if we want to do something about the wages, we want to do something about, yes, wages, we can use the average pay for that, the average cost of business for that department in order to compute what would be wages that would be paid. But remember that I am editing across sheets. So what I need to do is that being a template, I'm going to just take this out. I just use those to explain what is happening. And I'm going to just, I'm going to use code this because it's somewhere we want something to come in. I'm going to take it out. I don't want it there. You get it? And we're just going to come here and just hit this, take out this so that it appears this good. Okay? So hit this, take out this so that it appears this neat and good. So let's see if this happened across sheets. All right, so I'm going to just click a different sheet now. And then in the admin, we have it there. In the marketing, scroll down, we also have it there. So everything looking fine and good, and you're having your budget template already in place. So we're going to assume if there is any other general inputs that we need to bring in, we're going to use these same methods to do the update across sheets. So for now, everything we see here will be general inputs. Beyond the general inputs are going to be the departmental workings. So I'm going to just pull this from here and put it inside here. And then this is going to be departmental workings. Okay, so what this actually means is that everything that has to do with the departments, because they are going to vary, you get it, they can come below here and do the workings, but everything above this place is as if it were sacred. You don't impute rows inside them, you don't impute columns in all of this place, you don't touch anything above this. So it might be ideal for you to just, if you're doing this for your organization, you want to have all of these cells locked so that nothing can be done above here, but only below here. Okay. The only thing you can leave out is editing each of these cells. You get it, to have those cells edited, and you'll see the reason why, because they will be putting inputs into all of them. Okay. So we've succeeded to build our template up till this point, and then it's ready for us to make whatever inputs that we want to make. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to just pick this. So this is going to be the way by which we can see what a sub calculation is doing. So this could be wages, or you call them salaries, and preferably, because you likely are building a budget for an existing organization, all you might want to do is bring in such inputs as average salary, and that is going to appear as some currency. That's going to appear as some currency here. And what would that be? So that could be something that you want to capture, something you want to capture. For now, I'm going to just assume that I have an average salary of 450. It could be anything, but let's just assume that it is this amount of money. Now, you might want to include something like an escalation, something like a cost of living adjustment. something like a cost of living adjustment. Usually a cost of living adjustment will be like a percentage, and then determine when you would start to implement it. So in this case, being a percentage here, we can just assume that it's about 1.5%. And definitely we're going to have this because it will be something that you just want to put in there. So I just want to show you. So normally we would have said, take this value, lock it to the column, and drive it all through. So if we're going to use this through the 12 months, that would just be enough for us. Now, if it happens that we say, oh no, that's not exactly what we want to do, we want to have the cost of living adjustment to affect it, then in that case, we have the cost of living adjustment. You can choose to also do this, lock it to the column, drive it down to the end, and then use each of them. You see, for each of them now, we just need to just multiply, or you could choose to start from the point where you want it to be affected. But for now, let us just do this. Let's just do this. It is this multiplied by 1 plus, 1 plus this. And so that takes us to have what we have here. Okay? So that's it. So now the next thing is headcount. So the headcount here would now be connected to whatever you're going to have here, and formatted this way. Good. So that is what it is going to. Sorry, I don't need to format it. Only the total. Okay. So actually, I should be formatting this one. So this one is going to be take whatever the average is, take whatever the head count is, multiply them, and then I will have my total. So let's see if it gives us that. This is total salary or total cost to business, whatever you want to use it. That's going to apply here too. All right. So let's assume that in the admin department, we've got 15 persons. So you can see what the salaries will be with those 15 persons running through each of the departments. Okay, so what if we say that we're going to have an addition here? So you can see what it is. So all they just need to do is put in the inputs, fill in the inputs, and this comes up. The moment they've done this once, in the outgoing years, you most likely will just have persons filling inputs inside of this place. So now that I have this, what do I do with it? I need to, so what I usually do, because sometimes you could have these sheets going really, really long. So what I do here, that's salaries, I just come to this place and I've copied that cell below. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to paste it as a link. Now, once you paste it as a link, it's going to do an absolute, reference. So I don't want it to be an absolute reference. And so I'm going to take out all those dollar signs there, and I'm just going to do this. So I have got the wages for this department, and I've got it just right here. One other thing I want to do across the sheets will be to have a total. So I've selected both of the sheets, and I'm going to have a total. Maybe I should have that total here, total amount, or total of whatever you want it to be. This is going to be this. I'm just going to bold them. I'm just going to do the sum of this, and I'm going to sum everything here. Oh, come on. I'm going to sum everything here. So there is it, and we have the total for the department. So it makes it easy for you to see what the total for the department is. And I would want to format it this way and leave it like that, okay? All right. So our budget template is coming up, and having done this, I'm going to just click outside it. The reason is because in my marketing, I also will be having these formulas. So you can see I've been able to do this across sheets. So this is how you actually build an Opex budget template, so that it's quick, it's neat, and it has everything that you need inside. So that's it. So it could happen that you want to do some other things. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do it for every line item here, but let's just assume that certain things come. So let's do something for legal. So if I want to do for legal, I'm going to come here and just take this, and I'm going to bring it down. So these demarcations help us to see where something stops and where it starts, here. So where it stops and where it starts, you can have them here. Another thing you could do is also, you could choose to have them here so that you can, and I'll tell you why I'm doing this. Let me just show you why that is. So what it is that it helps your navigation. So if you hold down your control, you can run through all of the entries that are there. So this is legal, and in legal, you can come and say legal fees. And this, if it's a company that is already working, you could be able to just do something like this. It might be a fixed legal fee. It might be something that you are budgeting for the entire year. Let's assume that we're budgeting something like this for the entire year, just a sample. So this is also going to be currency, indicating that it's a currency. And then you might want to apportion it for, different periods of the months. You might want to put it different months. So because you know that you're working with 12 months, so we can easily split this way. But remember that you need to lock this one so that it could do the same thing all through. So here is it. We have it all through in this way. So we apportion it in this way. Now it could be that you want it apportioned in different ways. Possibly at the close of the year, that is when you want it. Maybe for a particular quarter of the year, that is when you want that to happen. And I'm going to teach you how to do something like that. I'll find another item to make that work for you. But sometimes these might just be calculations that comes from your department. You might just need to extract this one sheet, give it to the head of the admin department, and they will populate it for you. So it doesn't really mean that you will be the one doing everything, but you could choose to develop your template to the point where much of what is in the template is what you have created for them to do. So they just come in, put in their inputs, and send it back to you. It makes the budget process faster. Okay. All right. So so here I'm going to just copy this. Now you can just go up there and link it in any way, but I'm going to just find the legal fees and here. So another way you can do it is come to this legal fees and just come down and click this and copy it down. Just make sure you copy it down so that all of that could come down to your total here. Okay. Now you could also do this this time around. You could pick the end date here, and most of the time I just lock it to the row. You get it, lock it to the row. This comes here, so you can always copy this anywhere. You don't need to do any edits and just paste them, and so they will apply. So you can see that we've got something in here, and let me demonstrate how something else could be done. let's come to the marketing side of things. And here, we're just going to take this one. Sorry. I just want the dates to be up here, so it makes it easy for us to see it. We're going to lock the column, and that's the $sign before the role identity. So this comes in here. So I'm going to just copy this, paste it here, and that runs for it. So the staffing, let's assume marketing might have, quite a lot of staff and so on, but let's just assume that we have 25 of them there, and assume anything. Let's assume that we're taking in one person here leaves, and we're able to replace that person here, and just anything, and somehow the business is doing fine at the close of the year, and we need to bring in two more persons here. Okay, so that's fine. And then we would come here. Let's just get a heading. So we want to assume that there is some marketing consultancy. So marketing consultancy fee So if we have a marketing consultancy fee, it's going to be some currency. Okay, that's correct now. So we're going to have this as a currency, and we're going to assume that is a fixed fee. It's a fixed fee. You get it? So it's going to be a fixed fee, and we could have applicable months. Applicable months here. Now, for applicable months, I would want to allow the department decide what happens in the applicable months. So let's assume that is the marketing fee that we want to apply in all of these places. You get it? So what we really would do in this case, in order to apply them, is to get what the sum of this should be. So you're going to come here, or you're going to come this way and do the sum of this. So we get it to be 5, and so what we just need to do here is take this value, and we're going to lock it, and when we lock it, we divide it by this value. Here again, we need to lock this value here. So that is what we want to do. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some parentheses here, and I'm multiplying it by whatever value is here. Okay, so that's it. So you can see that I get a 0 there because that's not a month that I want to apply whatever I am using. Okay, so you can see that it applies to all these months. The moment I have this, it's going to reduce it, and it is going to spread it all through so that you will be able to appropriate it. So if we choose that it's going to be for each and every month, this is what it's going to be for each and every month. So whatever the case, you can be able to appropriate it, choose periods that you want things to apply, and make them dynamic enough for users to be able to use them. So right now, I can easily go up and check for anything that relates to marketing. Here we have this. I'm just going to come down here and just get to that point, hit my enter button, and then copy it down. So I have something for the 12 months, and I have my budget coming down. To come to one that you've already done, you're just going to copy this, copy it here, and paste it here. We agreed that we're going to use this method so that we can navigate easily. So here we have this, and cool. So this is marketing, and we said marketing should be about 550. Let's just assume 550 here. And then we just need to update this. So this is the number of persons in the department. That's the number of persons. It dropped to 24 and went to 25 and got higher. And so that is what will be required to pay them. And then for wages or salaries, wages and salaries, we just need to connect. We just need to connect to this. And there we have it. So I'm just going to go like this, spread it a little bit to see what is happening. And so this way, you are actually bringing together the entire department. You're putting together departments, and then you are building the budgets for them. So I think with these few that I've done, you will be able to see how to populate the individual budget sheets and represent them. At this point, I just want to show you how we can bring together all of these information. So right here, you've got some things here. Let me see. We have salaries, we have some advertising costs, we've got some here. Yes, we've got these other ones. So let us just see how we can bring them all together. You get it? So I'm going to have another sheet now. This time around, I'm just going to create a sheet here. And I'm going to call it summary sheet. I'm going to call it summary sheet or just summary. All right. So we're going to come here and then just get a kind of detailed summary of all what we have been doing. So how do I do that? Now, to build this summary sheet, I'm going to use one of Excel's new function, and that new function is going to be the V stack. So it's going to vertically arrange all our arrays. So what this does is that I just need to pick the arrays that are involved. So I'll go to this place and I want to pick everything starting from here. So I'm going to just go and down. So I'm not going to pick the total. I'm just going to pick the raw data and the details. That's what I want to do. I'm going to hit my enter button. And then what you see is this. You see, so you have this coming up here. It has everything from admin. So you're going to see the lines that have got values and the lines that do not have values. But you might be wondering that, okay, how do we include marketing here? So one way we can include marketing is just to put a comma here and go here and take everything on marketing, starting from here and down. We select all of this, excluding the total, and hit our enter button. So what you're going to see is that everything in marketing is now here. Everything in admin is now here. So it's very easy for you to get possibly the sum of whatever is going on in this total. So what I'm trying to say is that if I take this down, automatically I'm getting what is for the entire business, assuming those are the two departments that we have. So it's likely I have taken, yes, I've taken a row that's not supposed to, a column. So I'm supposed to stop at, let's see, when, if you must update it, you go to the first cell, and here is where you update it. So instead of ending at arrow, I should end at S. No, I should end at, let's try. Okay. So I should end at arrow. Correct. So I should end at arrow. So I can get the entire budget for the business by just coming to this summary sheet and then seeing everything in its entirety. You get it? So that's the benefit of it. But I'm going to show you one thing. Because what if we have so many departments? One thing is that just ensure that all the departments are in tabs to your right hand side, all the departments that you want to uh, get involved. So what happens is that I'm going to just delete this and then try to do it again. So it's going to be V stack, and I'll come here and I'm going to just come and then click the first department. And when I click the first department, I'm going to hold my shift button and click the second department, or click the last department, last tab department. So it's going to select all the sheets that is involved. And then what I just need to do is I would just scroll to whichever area. I'm going to scroll to whichever area that it involves here, arrow down here, and I'm just going to do this. Now notice that our layout is helping us. These are rows that cannot change, in all our templates. So it helps to capture just exactly what we need. So if it happens that you erroneously increase the number of rows, that could cause some errors. So that is why initially I had mentioned that every row at top is like sacred. What you're doing, do it across all the sheets so that it would work. So I'm just going to hit my enter button now here. And so you can see that I'm getting it all here. So if I should bring in any other department in between here, let's just do this. Let's create a copy of this, and let's just put it before. So it has to be between the first tab that you selected and the last tab that you selected. So I'm putting it just after the admin. So I'm going to put it in here. Okay. And so if I put it in here, and I'm just going to name it production. Let's call it, as if we have a production department. We're going to just make some modifications, put this as 3. Let's put it as 3, and let's just hit our enter button. So again, if you come here, you see it's already production that is here. You get it. And if we go to summaries, let's check. So you can see production is already here waiting for us. And everything that has happened in production is going to be here. Now, the only thing that may be different is, yes, this one. So I'm going to go up here and just... So we just come here and then we run this down and then enter. So you see that with this way, any sheet, any additional sheet that comes in, I'll be able to get my total budget, and all of this will just be running automatically as we input things inside. So this becomes our summary sheet, and from this sheet we can then decide to go and be making additions to it. But something else here, you might be interested in saying, I want to, because as the sheet is now, let's assume this is we can easily come and build totals. I mean, we can bring in the dates here. You get it? We can bring in the dates. We format it to be a date. All right. This. Okay. Let me just... it's not going to go that far. So we have this here. These are the different dates that we're looking at. Okay. You can build a pivot table based on this. These are labels. Label. Okay. These ones would be our something like our charge accounts. You get it? Okay. This would be our charge accounts, and then this one would be our departments. Okay, or cost centers. Okay, so that will be cost centers, and there we have it. Actually, we can choose to we can choose to make this. So here we have them as inputs. We can choose to change for each of the departments here. We can choose to have these ones as our totals. You get it? You can choose to have them as your totals. What that means, and this is what I'm going to do, is that I'm going to select the first department tab, hold down my shift key, select the last one, and then we'll just come here and do a sum of everything here. Okay, so we do a sum of everything there, and then we just copy it down up to this point, and then what will be here would be a sum of just everything. So I think that's also fine that we can implement. So if we go to our summary sheet, we'll see that that is also there. So this is more like our row totals. So this is more like our row totals, okay? So here, so with this one here, our row totals, we actually do not need this again. We don't need this again. So here, we can actually filter for rows that are just 0, and we'll still have the same thing. We'll be able to see what is affecting what. So we can see legal fees, we can filter for legal fees, and then see which departments have got legal fees, here. And again, you see, it makes it very easy for you to control everything that is happening here. See, it makes it very easy for you to control it. So you are able to see that two departments has got legal fees. Should they have legal fees? Should they not have legal fees? Is the money too much? Is it too small? Whatsoever. You have visibility of this when you build your Opex budget in this format. You get it. And so this is it. This is how you can come up with your budget template, build it, and then use it across your departments, and then get something that is much more automated and makes it easy, increases and reduces rather the time in which you build your budgets in your establishment. I hope you learned something from this, and if you have any comments, put them in the comments below. If you have questions also, I'm available to answer those questions. I will appreciate your comments on these. And if you liked and learned something from what you have seen, please just give me a like and subscribe to the channel for much more that will be coming up. So thank you very much, and I would see you in another video.